Good morning and welcome. How much do you know about social entrepreneurship? Now, some of you, our viewers, have posted over the years, over the months, and proposed social entrepreneurship interventions, programs, even projects that you say have already delivered results and that you want to improve. Then I'm sure you'd want to be an ambassador of Origin Unite, because Origin Unite are all about building social entrepreneurs, and they say that they're going to train no less than 1,000 young people to serve as ambassadors. Now, this is really exciting, especially because Origin Unite says in its mission statement that it wants to eradicate several forms of poverty, in particular child malnutrition. Now, what can you and I do as entrepreneurs? That means that we actually making things grow, making things happen, and that brings the question of whether it is for profit or not for profit. Well, to help me better understand what this is about, how it works, and how you and I can possibly be a part of this is Sunny Ahonsi. He's an ambassador of Origin Unite and my guest on Sunrise. Good morning and welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Now, I don't know if I got it all right, but I'm still a little bit confused about what a social entrepreneur actually is.
Good. Thank you, Eric. Thank you for having me. A social entrepreneur is an entrepreneur that does not just focus on ESR, meaning economic system reality, just for profit. But it's an entrepreneur that focuses on CSR, corporate social responsibility. What that means is you're doing things that will benefit the community. You're providing and encouraging what is called inclusive economic system, rather than what would benefit just a select few shareholders. So Origin, fundamentally what it does is using a lot of its products to drive through social benefit, particularly the disadvantaged group, and these are malnourished kids around the world, who by estimate United Nations, UNICEF and other international agencies have various estimates, but the minimum estimate at the moment is over 300 million children under the age of 5 who are currently malnourished. So it is a mission of Origin to alleviate some of these issues.
What's the difference between social entrepreneurship and other social programs? For example, social welfare or social infrastructure, which is run by governments or by charities and NGOs. What's the difference, or is there any difference at all?
Yeah, there is a fundamental difference, and what Origin is actually bringing on board is not only providing the conduit for people to benefit socially, but it's also adding on to that employment and business opportunity for you to become a participant in the process of solving solutions affecting the society, and you get paid in doing so.
Can you give me an example, like a really good example that would apply to Ghana, of one or two social entrepreneurial ventures that have succeeded and that we can also apply here?
Well, as far as Ghana is concerned, there are a lot of initiatives which are being launched by various organizations, but you do find that some of these initiatives, they are short-lived. Reason being because it hasn't captured a wider audience. But what Origin is doing differently is saying to you, look, you and I can be entrepreneur providing these micronutrient products to these kids and encouraging socially other people to do exactly the same, and you get paid. So there's an incentive for people to be able to work, not just for other people, but for themselves at the same time. Because you always find what is WIINFM, what is in for me. So when people know that there is something at the end of the scale, there's a benefit and reward peculiar to that is going to affect them personally, and also by doing good to other people, they themselves benefit. So this is what is called a sustainable giving. You see, using your own money and encouraging others to use their own, for everyone to benefit mutually.
Okay, so let's say I'm a young person and I'm listening to this interview. Maybe I heard a previous one that I had with Charlotte O'Neill, who was a former Black Panther. We're talking about the Black Panther Party breakfast program for kids. And I think, yes, this is a good idea. All the children in my community are complaining about the quality of their school food, the school lunches. They say that the school feeding program is not really feeding them in the way that they would like. I'm going to start up a breakfast program for kids. How would this work, and what prospect do I have of expanding? Because any entrepreneur actually wants to grow and expand. And I read here that you want to empower young people, at least 1,000 of them to start with, to stay local but work global. What does this mean?
Oh, very good. But let me just clarify one thing which is fundamental, which is important. Origin's mission is all-inclusive. Young, old, employed, unemployed can participate in the process. Let's just look into the production cycle. In the production cycle, you have the product, then you have the market. Where you have a product, you must have a market. But in the middle, you have the middlemen and women who buys the product, looks for the market for it to be sold to. What Origin has done, it brought the whole thing into one umbrella. You got the product, which is a micronutrient. This micronutrient is named 6-star 59. What that means fundamentally is the important time in a child's life is between the period of 6 months to 59 months, 0 to 5. These kids, once they lose the micronutrient in their body system, vitamin A, iron, zinc, and so forth, they become anemic. That affects them possibly for the rest of their life. Origin has then brought in ambassador of people who are then called the ambassador or the consultant, I would call them, who then invest as minimum as $550, for example, to purchase this micronutrient, and this micronutrient will be sent to the kids by America, organization, a charitable, an NGO that is working with United Nations and other international agencies. America has got all the infrastructure which will then be delivered to these kids wherever they are around the globe. The market is over 300 million kids around the world. These micronutrients are then distributed. Let's say you become one of my ambassadors. I'm already an ambassador of Unite. You become one of my ambassadors. You did exactly the same. You invest your 1,100 Ghana cedis. I will be paid $100. Then you go on and bring in another person. You will be paid another $100. I will be paid $15. So what Origin is doing, which is very, very far removed from what the traditional have been known, is saying, yes, we can donate this to the kids, but at the same time, there's something for you as well. So you're actually tackling two issues which are fundamental, which are really intriguing in the society. Creating employment opportunity by the building of these ambassadors, and at the same time alleviating the suffering children globally from malnutrition.
You want to train 1,000 entrepreneurs to start with, and I'm thinking that, well, malnutrition is usually a result of poverty, and if that poverty is in the community, endemic in the community, and it's lasted several generations, there are good chances that it's not just the children that are malnourished, perhaps the adults are malnourished, and they need all kinds of other social interventions and infrastructure. If it takes over 1,000 Ghana cedis to even start up a venture of this sort, do you really think that you're going to succeed in training 1,000 people? Because here I'm looking at a million Ghana cedis right from the onset.
Okay, it's interesting that you say that. You see, you got to actually also, against that backdrop, what comes out, what's the result? I have done some survey in recent months, and we have launched this program. My mandate at the moment is to work in the whole of Africa, and Ghana is part of my platform to do so. We've already launched this program in Cameroon, okay, whereby within a week we have had over 100 ambassadors. We launched in Nigeria 2 weeks ago. I personally launched it where we had about 56 ambassadors within a week. We launched it here in Ghana where we have already 25 ambassadors who have subscribed to it. Let me tell you the returns. While they're doing this Origin entrepreneurship, I've already had people in Ghana here who've already earned $200 within a week of actually buying the micronutrient, which is going to be sent to the kids around the world. So the kids benefit, you yourself benefit. If somebody is going to set up an average business in Ghana right here, right now, that will earn them a profit of 10,000 or 20,000 Ghana cedis a year, you will agree with me that they need more than 1,100 Ghana cedis, fundamentally. And this income is generated year in, year out. My mandate is to actually train and develop this new entrepreneur using the social inclusion, using innovative way to say, look, there are different ways you can do things which are very different from the traditional way people know how to do it. Eric, just going around, I've done some survey even among the market women who are selling banana, potatoes, cassava along the roadside. Some of them have sophisticated mobile phone, as sophisticated as an iPhone number 5, which costs well over 1,100 Ghana cedis. What they need to do is to have a phone like myself, a very, very basic phone of this nature, which they will buy for 100 Ghana cedis, save that money and claw it back and invest in a micronutrient, which will be distributed to kids. They themselves actually become an ambassador, investing with 100 and 1,100 Ghana cedis for them to earn for them and themselves and their family 10,000, 20,000, even up to 50,000 Ghana cedis a year. I think it's a good deal for everyone.
Okay, sounds like a good deal. How does one get involved in this project? I've already shared your URL, the originunite.com website.
Yes.
Is there a particular office for Ghana, a particular URL, something that people should know in case they want to find out more?
Yes, you have, they can send me an email, which is sunny at originunite.co.uk, or they can contact me on my number, which is 2455-70251, or they can also contact my other office here, my local office in Ghana, which is actually in Klagan, on the New England hotels in Klagan. So we have a local office already, which is set up, doing presentation on a weekly basis, and equally training and developing this entrepreneur exactly how they can actually realize their dream of being entrepreneur, working here locally, but working with global organizations that are looking after the needs of socially disadvantaged kids around the globe.
Okay, so let me just get this straight. Sunny at originunite.co.uk.
Correct.
And the number was 0244.
Yeah. 0245
0245
570
570
251.
251. So I'm going to share it in real time with my viewers. I've got much more coming your way on Sunrise this morning, so please stay with me and stay tuned. I'll be right back.